Nothing.
What's up? What's up? What you got it right during when the recording started. What's up, everybody? This is Greg, host of the Arc of Wrestling podcast. We're here doing this week's episode of this podcast that we talk about wrestling a bunch, and then we end it with stuff. So how's everybody doing tonight?
I'm fantastic.
We did our fantasy football stuff.
Dude, we should show off our team names.
Oh yeah, we should. Wesley, start off with yours.
My team name is the Seven Soldier Field of Victory.
Nice.
Wow.
Dave.
That's a fucking reference.
I have Lightfinger's Legion, which is my usual standard.
Oh, okay. Duck.
Mike Quack and Bushers.
Ah, nice.
Chikara.
I would ask Mike, but his is so predictable.
It's because it's my fantasy football team in every league I've ever been in.
Is it about murderers? I bet it is.
No, it's her name
It's
is
about-
not on my team.
It's about a really shitty football team.
Actually, it was a lacrosse team back in the day.
No.
Even
So,
worse.
well, there
Is-
you go.
Oh, man.
Wait. Okay.
Do you have any Ravens on your team?
I do. I have 3.
Which one?
I
which
got
one's Mike?
Tucker
Yeah, he picked
The
Tucker when I was
Ravens
gonna get him
defense.
too.
and Torrey Smith.
Oh my god, you guys.
People are gonna enjoy this wrestling podcast where we
Oh,
talk about
God.
fantasy football.
Dude,
What?
I hate this so much. Because I have Mason
Well,
Crosby.
do we want to really
But I
talk about the
want-
rest?
Hold on. Joker is joining us as well, but he didn't sign up for the fantasy football.
This
Say
is
hi.
gay.
Say hi, Joker.
Oh, I don't get to say my fucking football team's name?
You are next, Jonesy.
Oh my god.
Calm your little tits. Jonesy,
Oh, little tits.
What?
what's your fantasy football name?
Is that like Littlefoot's sister?
Dude, shout out to Littlefoot. Ducky? Sarah?
I'll be with you later.
Sarah was the Triceratops.
Yeah, I was naming off the characters.
Hey, Morton Salt. What's your fucking fantasy football name?
My fantasy football name?
Yes, your fantasy football
My
name.
fantasy football name is I Am Groot.
Ah. Quoting early crappy super.
Dude, you mean that multi-billion-dollar movie?
Billions and billions.
Yeah, they made billions and $billions. They only just finally beat Transformers in the summer blockbuster.
No, they actually beat that quite a while ago, dude.
No, it was last week when they beat it.
No, Transformers made 64. They made 90 in their opening weekend.
But overall, bitch. That's what really matters. Anyways,
I care about
Fish, what's your fantasy football name?
I am Groot.
Say a little bit louder, sir.
Insert meme here.
Ah, nice. And mine is Brie's butt plugs. And that's how we are going to start the Arc of Wrestling
Is there a
podcast.
reason you didn't go with Paige or AJ?
Uh,
My waifu.
I don't know why. I was going to put Nikki's butt plugs, but then I just realized that the only butt plug she has is Cena, so I went with Brie. Anyways, guys, welcome to the Arc of Wrestling podcast, your weekly wrestling podcast where we talk about everything from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, AAA Mexican Lucha, Ring of Honor, anything you want us to talk about. Next week we are going to talk about PWG 11, which was the last PWG show that happened. As you guys know, PWG is holding their Battle of Los Angeles show this coming weekend, which I am very sad. I wanted to go to, but the tickets sold out way too quickly. But as we go on, let's talk about Monday Night Raw tonight really quickly, because this is going to be a short show because we're running a little bit late tonight.
Okay.
Wait, that's the reason? Oh.
Yeah. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was held in Anaheim at the Honda Center. I could have gone to this show, but I didn't. I don't know why.
Shittiest crowd ever.
Anaheim needs a new crowd.
Here's the thing. I will talk about the crowd. Yes, crowd was very crappy, but I'm not going to hold it against them because every match on this show did not live to any sort of standard that they should have been held against. every single match just had this off feeling about it. There was almost botched spots on almost every match that just looked terrible, and they were always followed up by a terrible segment as well. So, as we get into this Raw, I would like to call this Raw the rematch Raw, because almost half of the matches on this Raw were rematches. A lot of these rematches came from SummerSlam. Some rematches came from last week's Raw. A rematch came from WrestleMania. So, we'll get started. Rusev, Jack, Swag. Okay, well, no. First, back it up. Move it back a little bit.
Back it up.
Beep.
Ow.
Back it up.
WWE Raw is going head to head with the Emmys tonight, so they wanted to make this Raw really good. They wanted to
Which
wow
they didn't.
people. I know, which they didn't. So
That was a Breaking Bad for the sweep. Jesus Christ.
So how does WWE promote a Raw? They put in 3 legends who haven't been there for a while, talk about a feud that...
Actually, Hogan and Flair were there the week of
They were
for SummerSlam.
the week before SummerSlam, yeah.
And Hogan was there like last. Yeah.
But anyways,
Oh my god.
so we have HBK, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan. Mick Flair? They're here to talk about John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at Night of Champions. HBK is very dead set that Cena is going to lose. Flair has his doubts, and Hogan is jerking Cena off like a little baby boy in a church.
Like a church? What the fuck kind of church?
He's working out like a building.
Jesus.
And Hogan is just riding Cena's cock. Cena comes out and pretty much says, I'm going to beat Lesnar. You're going to see a different Cena at Night of Champions, just like he said the night before his fucking match against Lesnar at SummerSlam. But that's really was all during that segment. There wasn't much to come out of it. Cena kind of just did his typical, I'm a serious Cena and I'm going to beat Lesnar at Night of Champions, and left.
By the way, this is the most important rematch of his life.
Oh yeah, I made a note, like, if you ask Cena what was his most important rematches of his career and you put it against Lesnar and The Rock, he would probably die of a hernia. Anyways, on to our first rematch. This rematch comes from SummerSlam. We have Rusev versus Swagger. No flag match this time, because obviously they didn't get the fucking
Was there
flag
ever really a
match
flag
part.
match?
Yeah. Was it ever really? No, it was a fucking anthem match. Let's get this shit straight.
With flags.
This wasn't a good match. I think their SummerSlam match was the best match they put on. What'd you guys think of this opening match? Wesley?
Which match we're talking about?
Rusev versus Swagger.
Alright, Andy Kaufman versus G.I. Joe.
Fucking
I thought it was okay.
Alright. I mean, it wasn't that like, I would say that their SummerSlam match, I'm still kind of fresh. It's still fresh in my mind to think about that flag match at SummerSlam. And this didn't live up to the hype. I remember a botch happening, but I can't remember where exactly was.
I think it was Rusev.
Was it Rusev?
It was
I think it
Rusev
was.
who botched it.
What was
I
it?
don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I turned my head and didn't see the botch. I saw him slamming his fist to the ground, so basically saying, "I screwed that."
Yeah.
You could tell it in his. You could tell it in his face. Oh, screwed that one. So.
Like their SummerSlam match, this match ends in a referee stoppage, but not in the way that their SummerSlam match did. It ends with Rusev just kicking the shit out of Swagger, and Swagger just doesn't have the will to get up. Now, I'm gonna throw this question at you guys. Was this the right way to end this match? A repeat of a stoppage, but not exactly a repeat, because Swagger didn't pass out. He just kind of... Like, was there even any reasoning
He
for...
was conscious the whole time.
Yeah, he was
It's just the ref
conscious.
was like, oh, no, snap, no,
Stop
violence.
Stop it!
Was there any reasoning for the ref to stop this match? It doesn't seem
No.
like it.
He was just being a wuss.
He wanted to leave and go watch the Emmys.
He needed to go kill Bo later.
Oh, yeah. But Bo didn't even come out, did he? Not during
Oh,
this part.
No,
Not
it
during
was
this match.
during Bo's match.
Yeah. They remind us there's still to come a family reconciliation segment with
man.
Jerry Lawler between the Bella twins. And
Tell me now.
we're
Just gonna
on.
say,
What?
I contemplated jumping out my window during a segment.
Oh, don't worry, we're not even at that segment yet. We still got more shitty Raw to go through. Number one.
Yay.
In the second rematch from SummerSlam, we have the number one contenders match of Cesaro and Rob Van Dam. Again, not as good as what they put on at SummerSlam. This match was a lot shorter than their match. It felt a little out of place. RVD didn't look good in this match. He looked kind
He
of
cashed
slow.
it in.
Yeah,
He
he looked.
cashed it in.
Yeah, exactly. Best way to put it. He was cashing it in. He's on his way out the door.
He's got the briefcase?
He's going for it, brother. I'm not even sure if he was supposed to be working for this long. He was supposed to be done after SummerSlam, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
I think they told him basically, "Now we got to do one more to end this and get it done." And he said, "Okay, well, it's a paycheck," and that's the way he looked that entire thing. He was the one that botched in that match. If I remember.
Yeah, I think he botched a couple times and it just didn't look good. Again, two matches in a row where things just seemed off for a while. The wrestlers were botching. The matches were short. There wasn't anything consistent about the matches either. It wasn't like they were kind of following any sequences. It wasn't like it was back and forth of any kind. It felt very sloppy of both of these opening matches. Sheamus is out there talking with JBL, King, and Michael Cole, and the new number one contender is Cesaro for the U.S. title. We have some little back and forth with Sheamus and Cesaro on the outside, and we just have the referee break up Sheamus before pretty much stomping Cesaro's head in. So we're going to see that match probably at Night of Champions. They didn't say it was happening at Night of Champions.
Sorry.
I could see that match. They implied it, but I could kind of see this happening in like 2 weeks. Probably 2-3 weeks, and then ending in some shenanigans that leads to another match at Night of Champions. Just so there's kind of a feud in that. This just came out of the woodworks, and so they're gonna really need to get people interested in this match.
It didn't though, Greg, because we kept constantly going at it at the 2K15 roster reveal. They kept going at it.
Oh yeah, on
John,
that, but when it comes to on main television, Sheamus hasn't done anything. Sheamus has been out for almost a month now with the flu. If you remember, he was gone for a while, and so him coming back and people just kind of remembering now that he's United States champion, they're gonna have to, at least put some light on the U.S. Championship right now. And the best way to do is probably making this match happen a little bit earlier, but then extending it to Night of Champions in some way or fashion.
I will point out by this point in time, I had the sound off because I had already tired of JBL.
Really? Wow. Yeah, JBL was he's been getting pretty bad in these past weeks.
Really bad.
Oh, since we're talking about JBL, I have something to bring up.
Yes.
I think it was later on. I can't remember which match it was, but JBL said that Charlton Heston starred in the movie Moses. Starred in the movie Moses, which people with high intellect, or at least that have seen this movie, will know. It's called the Ten Commandments. And how he botched that hard
Okay,
is astounding.
Granted, he had a really good line last week when
One out of the million.
It was like one out of the million shitty lines that he said. He was like, Paige is the second youngest Divas champion in WWE history. And Michael Cole's like, well, who's the first? And he's like, Paige. And I kind of had to chuckle at that because I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Then who? Hey!
So, speaking of Paige, next we have a rematch from Raw last week. Natalya, who has 2 wins over the WWE champion, Divas champion Paige, she gets a third match in hopes that she gets a number 1 contender shot.
Natalya's pinned John Cena.
I hope Triple H Senpai will notice me today.
Again, here's the third match in a row that just wasn't as good as their previous matches. Last week's match between Paige and Natalya I thought was pretty good. This week's match was nowhere as good as what it should have been. Especially when there was no interference that happened throughout this entire match. Because AJ came out after this match was over. Paige pretty much was trying... Okay, one of the funny things that happened was JBL was stupid because when Paige was trying to set up the PTO, Michael Cole on commentary was saying, "Oh, Paige is trying to hook in her finisher," and gets cut off by JBL saying, "Oh my goodness, Maggle, look at Paige. She's trying to put Natalya's sharpshooter on." With not even knowing that she was trying to connect the PTO on. He was just oblivious of what was happening in the ring tonight. And I couldn't fucking believe it.
It's classic JBL, Michael.
Dumbest
It's
thing
like
on
he's
the
trying to
planet.
get himself fired.
I
Yeah.
think he is.
Maybe that's why.
Actually, I will tell you this: the way his eyes were droopy, and when I was watching it and things like that, he looked like he was hungover.
Probably was.
That could be a really good
I'm
excuse.
drunk, Niall. I'm being honest. I think he had a migraine from putting on a bender that previous night because
Getting
he
the
just
sauce a
looked-
little bit. He
Yeah.
seems like a Sunday night drinker. He really does.
He does.
We drink on Monday nights, Michael.
Put that on a
I would be
t-shirt.
not. He's probably hitting that bottle really bad. Oh my god! I had to see that Bella segment again.
Also, that's why he's drinking.
Okay.
Probably hiding that liquor under the table.
In what was probably the best segment on Raw, Paige and AJ still teasing this lesbian angle and making me want to scream. AJ comes out. AJ comes out at the end of Paige's match and pretty much AJ says that she knows Paige was being sincere when she said she loved her, but not as sincere as AJ said. And being now, she pretty much drops the mic, teasing it, getting close,
Lesbians.
and then gives Paige a hug.
Oh.
AJ with kind of, I don't like how AJ extends her hand because it looks like she has a fucking broken hand.
She does have a broken hand.
Or a broken arm. I'm sorry. Her arm was like when she extended her hand, her arm was like up, like it didn't look right.
I think
But-
she might have a little bit of a double joint in her elbow, and that throws it all off.
Yeah, I mean she's really flexible.
AJ, double jointed. I like this. Continue.
Well, Jay Lethal did train her.
Herder.
And the closest thing we'll
Man,
probably
see,
the closest thing we're probably gonna get a lesbian kiss between AJ and Paige is AJ grabs Paige's hand and kisses it. And that's it. That's how the
Milady.
segment. That's how the segment ends. AJ
And then Greg's boner goes away.
yeah.
In fact, it retracts into
Yeah.
his body later.
Mickey James called. She wants her gimmick back. For its credit.
So AJ skips around and we move on to the next segment, which I thought was going to be an awesome segment, which happened to be an alright segment. Dean Ambrose's eulogy. Yes, Dean Ambrose, who is currently on leave shooting a movie.
No, he is currently dead.
Or via dead
died?
of cinder blocks. Curb stomp onto cinder blocks.
Yes,
And,
dead. Gross.
and Seth Rollins is currently giving him a eulogy. But what is this? Who comes out? Not Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns.
Because he's dead.
Roman Reigns comes out to save whatever's left of Dean Ambrose's dignity to attack and beat out Seth Rollins and Kane.
He's coming to save Dean Ambrose's dead corpse.
Man, I really hope there was like a coffin out there. That would have been great. That would have been great if there was like a coffin out there. So now this leaves some doors open. I thought Reigns was going to continue his match with Randy Orton, but now he's going against Rollins and Kane. And then they announced later on that Randy Orton's going to be on the highlight reel with Chris Jericho on next Monday. So, now there's two storylines that are completely up in the air right now. Anyone could go each way. From the looks of it, I think they're done with Jericho Wyatt.
Thank God.
I think they're just completely done with that. I don't think there's any more they can get out of doing a rubber match. I could see Jericho Orton just to help the buy rates when it comes to buy rates on the WWE Network, which is only $9.99 on the for Night of Champions. So would that mean is Ambrose set to come back before Night of Champions? I thought he was booked on the Raw before Night of Champions.
He was booked on the Mall before Night of Champions.
God
You
damn
shout
it,
out to them all. I love them all.
So I don't know exactly when Ambrose is set to come back. They could do Reigns Kane if Ambrose is set to come back before Night of Champions, but they could also do Reigns Rollins, which I think they would probably set up after Night of Champions, right?
Or they do a tag.
Or
No.
they could do a tag.
Reigns is going on Seth.
And I haven't heard anything between Triple H and Reigns. I guess they could do that at Hell in a Cell and have a Hell in a Cell match between the two.
Or they could do like we're saying, Reigns versus Rollins, and then Ambrose versus Kane.
Yeah. So I mean, in that situation, there's a lot of possibilities. I'm kind of glad that there's still a lot they could do with the Authority versus Ambrose and
Ambrose
Reigns.
versus cement blocks.
But I'm interested to see what they could do with Orton. Since they don't want Orton facing Reigns month after month. I can see Orton going after Ambrose after dealing with Rollins, but I don't even know how they could end the Rollins and Ambrose feud. So while there's a lot that they could set up, I don't know how they can end any of this. So that's going to be interesting to see how it's going to progress.
They can do Ambrose and Reigns versus Rollins and Kane.
Yeah, that's what we said.
No, tag match.
Yeah, that's what we said. Yeah.
Wait, deja vu.
Yeah, Dave said that.
It's long term. I think the plan is for a triple threat at some big show.
But who would be with Reigns and Ambrose?
No,
Chris
triple
Jericho
threat,
is
and all three of them are facing each other.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I could also see that with the briefcase on the line. Like I've said,
Yeah.
I don't see Rollins cashing in.
Rollins is cashing in.
I don't see he's cashing in.
He's cashing in.
No. Anyways,
Hey, Kevin Stevens are going to the.
I could see the briefcase being passed around between the three. Like I could see Rollins getting it, then Ambrose getting it, then Reigns getting it, and then Rollins gets it back. Like I could see them doing some bullshit because I bet they want to push this they have to push it back as far as possible. None of those three men could cash in on Lesnar. It's just they're not gonna let it happen unless Vince gets so bored that the WWE Championship is on Raw every week that he's just gonna go fuck it. But I think they want Lesnar as champion at WrestleMania. Anyways, we'll move on. After we talk about this match, I think we're gonna speed through a little bit. Which is the WWE Tag Team Title match.
I really liked that one. I really liked that match.
Wesley dropped, but we'll get him back in. WWE Tag Team Title match. I think this match was just, it was better. I think this was the best match on Raw.
I would
Because
agree with that.
there wasn't really anything else that I could put on that level on this Raw. So it was two baby faces going at it at the beginning of the match, but the main thing to talk about was what happened after this match, or what led to the end of this match and what happened afterwards. Goldust and Stardust take out both the Usos on the outside. Stardust brings it back in the ring as we... Oh, fuck, I was looking somewhere else. Uso runs to the ropes and leaps out onto Stardust. Jey Uso sells a knee injury on the floor. He trades shots with Stardust but can't make it into the ring before the countout. So while Stardust and Goldust do win the match, the Usos retain the titles. which lead to surprise, surprise, because I don't think anybody saw this happening. And fuck you, Duck, you didn't say shit. Stardust and Goldust turned heel. I felt that came out of the fucking blue.
Oh my god.
I did not see this coming a mile away.
I
So
saw it coming because the Cosmic Key has to be the tag team titles, and the Usos aren't working heel anytime soon.
But WWE is so keen at like hinting at it, or even like some dirt sheets leaking that, you know, Stardust and Goldust are going to turn heel. I heard nothing. I just thought it was going to be a petty, you know, petty go at the tag team titles, and they weren't going to get anything else out of it. But when you look at it logically, there isn't any other heels that they could go at right now. The Wyatts have been completely buried by the Usos. And Ascension haven't made their debut yet.
Slater Gator.
No.
Slater Gator, they're over as fuck.
No.
So
No.
So at that point, that's gonna set up a match at Night of Champions, the Dust Bros versus the Usos. Bro versus bros. No hoes, just bros. Anyways, now we're gonna speed through this just a little bit. We have an awesome Lesnar. We have an awesome Lesnar segment with the line, "Never give up bullshit," which I thought was fucking awesome. I hope I hear more Lesnar promos in immediate future. Dolph Ziggler versus Damien Mizdow.
10 out of 10.
The Miz brought out his
That's where I quit.
his stunt double,
10
which
out of 10.
was Damien Sandow.
Bye.
And that ended up as just a regular squash match, and Dolph Ziggler wins. And it looks like we're still gonna get Miz Ziggler going down the road. On to the segment.
No.
I lost the will to live.
The segment that made you want to commit suicide.
Dude, it was the
Man,
greatest segment of
PWG is
all
really good.
time.
Which
Just giving it back.
felt like the longest segment on Raw.
Holy shit, that's a spider. Whoops.
Because it probably was the longest segment on Raw. And I'm talking about the Nikki Bella, Brie Bella family.
Reconciliation.
It started at 9 o'clock, about the time everybody says, let's go over to the Emmys and see whether or not, Breaking Bad is going to win them all now because
Yeah.
the drama ones come across.
So
Good job, WWE. Good
I-
programming.
I-
I like it.
I want to hear everybody's opinions on this segment. And I'm going to start with Mike.
Everybody?
Because Mike has a great taste when it comes to really bad segments and knows how to put it off correctly. So Mike.
It sucked.
You gonna say anything more on about it?
It sucked as much as the Claire Lynch angle does.
Okay, what was worse? Bree's acting of lying to... No, Nikki's acting of lying about wanting Brie to die in the womb, or Bree's acting of trying to cry.
Dude, her crying looks like she's about to pass a kidney stone.
I love that line.
It's like she's bending over in pain, and her face is making that sour lemon face. Like, why, God, why make it stop?
I saw someone on Twitter say that she realized she was constipated.
No.
Like, what Brie looked like was she was trying to force cry. I think she was legitimately trying to produce tears, because obviously she couldn't get like a tear bottle and drop it in her eye and pretend to fucking cry like that. I think she was really trying to force herself to cry, but in the end it just didn't work.
Dude,
Wesley.
It is not that hard to fake cry. Seriously, all you have to, seriously. No, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little thing, okay? I was in drama in high school. Okay, that means we did plays and shit, right?
Yes.
It is not that hard to fucking cry. It really isn't. All you gotta think about is like dead puppies and stuff like that. And just a little tear, and it just starts rolling.
Or think of the
It
Oakland
looks
Raiders.
good. Or you,
You need to to know if you wanted to cry, you could have seen the segment that was on, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It is not that hard to fake cry. But that whole "I wanted you to die in the womb" thing was like, holy shit.
Remember when Mark
literally
Henry
just
actually
said
produced the
that.
tier? That was a good time.
Oh man, it's because Mark Henry is a great actor.
Also, 10 out of 10 for Nikki bringing up the incest fantasies that guys men with both of the Bella twins on live television.
Oh, dude,
Well,
that
have you seen their photo shoots? Like, they've kind of been around that shit.
Oh yeah, their photo shoots before they when they first left the WWE were like borderline incest. I would
And,
say.
like, it was hilarious because I was going through Tumblr afterwards, and like, oh my god, like the few people that I follow on there that watch wrestling, most of them are girls. And this isn't, I'm not calling anybody out
Yeah, you are.
specifically, kind of, but I saw the phrase, "Oh man," which was Nikki. Yeah, Nikki's. They were applauding Nikki because she called out all of the disgusting male chauvinist pigs about fucking twin fantasies. I was like, oh my
Who the hell
god.
was those?
Feminism.
Oh,
It still lives.
Men are pigs.
I was like, Jesus.
So are they gonna turn like are the feminists gonna turn Nikki face because because she apparently speaks the truth?
Oh, yeah, they're gonna
She
view her
speaks
as a
feminist.
face. Absolutely. That's my thought about this. It was fucking stupid.
While the two lesbians are kissing each other over in the other ring. Yeah, that's gonna go over well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what other like was there a worse segment of this year that was worse than this segment?
The one where
Yes, the
one-
wrestling match between Stephanie and Brie. But
Yeah, that was pretty
the
fucking.
one where the personal trainer lied about sleeping with Daniel
Oh.
Bryan.
Oh,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
garbage.
Mind games.
I like how that was completely dropped.
Oh man, you're gonna play
That wasn't
mind games,
dropped. That was
guys.
thrown to the floor, stomped out, and then shoved under the carpet.
We will
Rusev
never see that again.
stomped on that segment when he was doing his in-ring pose before his match.
Yeah. Okay. The more I talk about this, the more I'm getting a headache. So, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Kane in a handicap match.
Gee, I wonder if Roman's gonna lose.
Did they announce this match after the eulogy, or was it like later on?
Later
Kane and Seth had this segment where like, no, we're gonna take him out as well.
Okay. So, again, like, was it anything? I don't even remember watching this match because it came after the terrible segment that was that fucking segment.
The terrible
Brie
segment
still
that was.
trying to focus back on what it was. The only little thing was the throwing of the cinder block
Yeah.
at the
Dude,
ring
that was
post.
fucking
And
great.
gee,
That could have
can
ended
you not
badly.
tell it's plaster of Paris by the way it hit? Thanks, guys.
The Cinderbog exploded and a big chunk of it went straight at King. I thought King was gonna die again.
Oh darn.
It was a big chunk. That thing could have like, if it had enough momentum,
If
it could have
wasn't
fucking.
the fact that it was actually plaster of Paris that had been painted, you would have been.
Yeah. So I don't know. Dave, did you watch this match?
Yeah, I did. I tried to. The problem was is my brain still had to restart from that horrendous thing that I saw right before it. But the thing, it was pretty much we got all the same set spots and everything, and of course the typical double team stuff where Reigns would get an advantage and the other guy would come in, and eventually he gets the. Does he get the spear on King? He eventually gets he goes for the Superman punch, gets caught and then breaks out of the choke slam, and then eventually hits him with the spear. He tries to pin him. Rollins comes in, hits him with the Money in the Bank. Referee calls the match, and then all the shenanigans outside.
Yeah.
And then when you're outside, that's where they unveil again the cinder blocks. And quite frankly, that's enough of that joke. And then, like I say, they eventually Reigns picks up a cinder block and tosses it at the ring post that Rollins ducks out of the way from.
I can't wait for Triple H to put a cinder block in his match against Reigns. And then
Cinder block
in like the hell in like the hell of the cell.
God
Gee,
damn it, Doc.
He'll probably try to put his head on a cinder block and then hit him with a sledgehammer.
Oh man.
Dude, it's gonna be a cinder block match, so it's gonna be.
There you go.
You have to crush it. One.
God, that's
Dude, hire
horrible.
me.
I'd watch it.
I
I
would
wouldn't.
too.
I
If
wouldn't.
it was like a legitimate one, absolutely.
Oh yeah, they're actually gonna smash one legitimately.
I just want to see Dean Ambrose in a ring full of real cinder blocks, and just smacking his head against all of them.
There would be piles of cinder blocks on each side of the ring, and you'd have to like send your opponent through the cinder blocks.
What is this, ZCW?
Yeah, dude.
We call this Minecraft.
Dude, it's like Def Jam Vendetta, where you had to throw your opponent through the window.
Oh yeah.
That's
There
a
you go.
reference.
There's a Wyatt promo. I'm not gonna talk about that. Los Matadors versus Slater Gator. Los Matadors wins. Kofi Kingston versus Bo Dallas. Kofi Kingston looked pretty. Did he botch?
He
No.
botched it.
That was Bo Dallas's.
Bo
Bo botched the Bo Dog.
God,
and
that's
then Swagger took him down.
Yeah, and then Swagger came in. Bo Dallas won, and then Swagger. What? He took Bo out with a fucking belly to belly. That was it.
Yeah, he did.
He didn't even
He
go
did.
for the ankle lock.
He didn't even go over the ankle lock. He kind of went in belly to belly and left.
There's a problem when you don't have a knockout finisher.
Fuck you, WWE. Because when they announced that John Cena and Bray Wyatt was in the main event of this fucking match, I was kind of excited. Oh,
I wasn't.
I was, cool. Bray Wyatt, Cena. I could watch this again. I'm fine.
this would be great.
When I knew this was gonna suck when Bray Wyatt came out. Cena gets his big baby face entrance, and rather than giving Wyatt his usual Anaheim, I'm here, and then come out with the lantern and everything, they just have him fucking appear in the ring. What the fuck was that bullshit? Where's the fucking entrance? Where's the arena full of lights? Where's the fucking lantern? Where's all this shit that makes Wyatt look good? Why did you take him away? Because he had a match with Cena? I don't understand.
They figured the Anaheim crowd sucks so bad they weren't gonna cheer with him.
Cheer! All you do is light up your fucking phones.
They did for a little bit, not for long, but they did for a little bit.
A little bit. They couldn't. You think you couldn't see anything because they didn't have his lights go out.
I know.
That's the fucking they. Oh, he's in a match with Cena. We can't make Wyatt look like a babyface. We're just gonna completely get rid of his entrance this time around. Fucking stupid.
Unless the only thing I can think of is sometimes they dump entrances if they think they're gonna run long.
And what's even worse? What's fucking even worse? They have Cena mock up his match with Lesnar, but in place of it's role switch. Wyatt is now playing Cena, and Cena is playing Lesnar. What bullshit is this? The entire match, I thought Wyatt was just fucking, he was sick or something. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. Wyatt gets knocked.
Well, they found out that Vince Russo really likes Wyatt, so they decided to bury him.
I
Yeah.
You know, it's just the thing is, Wyatt has a specific gimmick. You bring him out in a certain way, and I'm agreeing with you, by the way, if you haven't heard this again. The thing is that the problem that they've got is you once again bury the guy who should be one of your, if not the biggest heel you've got.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, what are you doing? I mean, he's got a shtick that works. It is a very, very creepy, on top of popular, way he approaches things. And I said at the SummerSlam thing, what do you do with Cena now after he's gotten squashed? Actually, I would have turned him at that point in time in the fact that I'm going to win this title no matter what, and he would go to Wyatt to ask for help.
No.
That would have
Yeah.
fit more of what Wyatt is meant to do. But nope, couldn't do that. Nope, we have to have basically a squash match interference and then introduce the new tag team.
Here's the problem. That Wyatt Jericho feud was bad. Both of their matches were bad, and you can tell by how like they just stopped the feud right there instead of having their rubber match. That it was bad, and because Wyatt is sometimes hot, sometimes cold, I don't think the management trusts him.
Here's the thing. I said it around Money in the Bank. They don't know how to book Wyatt. They don't have any plans for him in the future. They don't think ahead. That's WWE's problem. They don't book 3-4 months ahead of schedule. They book what happens this week. You know? They don't have plans set. And so Wyatt's fallen into the same boat 90% of the roster is right now. There's no plans for them, and they don't know what to do with them. So you're just gonna have to wait and see until we can come up for something with you, because we don't want to spend the time to book ahead, because we're afraid if we book too far ahead, it's gonna get leaked, and then we can't do it anymore. Why can't we do it anymore? I don't fucking know. This is my fucking problem. Why it's one of those people you need a long-term investment in. You need to know exactly where he's going to be around Royal Rumble. You need to know exactly where he's going to be around WrestleMania. You need to know way ahead of time where Wyatt's going to be, because if he falls behind, he's going to look like everybody else on the roster. And he's not going to be special anymore. And I think they're just too focused on how to keep Roman Reigns safe that they're completely forgetting about guys like Cesaro. They're gonna forget about Dean Ambrose. I don't think Dean Ambrose is safe. I think Dean Ambrose is gonna be in the same boat as Cesaro and Wyatt in a couple months. At least
Joker, what are you doing?
Puking over there? Jesus Christ.
at least
That would
after.
have been after the bells.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, at least after WrestleMania, like, I don't see Ambrose. I see him going after the United States title again, being nowhere where he's supposed to be. And I can almost say the same thing about Seth Rollins, you know? I could see Seth Rollins easily, after splitting with the Authority, or when the Authority angle finally ends, being the next Kofi Kingston of all people, you know? I think they're in a bad position when it comes to helping build stars. They're going to fall in the same boat they were 7-8 years ago.
Well, they're going to be in a really bad position when they shove Roman Reigns down everybody's throat and he flops.
Yeah.
And then they have nowhere else to turn because he didn't push anybody.
They need to push people. They need to push 7-8 people at a time if they want to be successful in a year. You know, how do you expect anybody to buy the WWE Network when you're not putting on good television? You need good television to put on good pay-per-views. That's just how I see it, and that's how it's always been.
Can you imagine them pushing Roman Reigns to the moon? Just Roman Reigns wins the title, the crowd just craps all over him.
No.
It's gonna happen.
No, when he beats Lesnar at WrestleMania, and it's gonna fucking happen.
Keep saying when?
When he beats Lesnar at, or yeah, no, it's going to be when. Because there's no other person who's gonna face Lesnar. Rock's out of the picture unless they want Rock to stay after Mania.
No.
And they don't want Bryan to win the fucking. They don't want Bryan to get the main event spot of Mania again. That's just not WWE's plan, and that will never be their plan. Reigns is going to be the guy to go in there and beat Lesnar, unless they decide to give it to Triple H. I don't fucking know. The only person set for that spot right now is Reigns, and Reigns is gonna get a big pop when he wins the WWE Championship. But guess what? When he wins that WWE Championship, Reigns isn't special anymore. He's just another fucking top guy, just like Cena.
And the crowd's gonna turn on him because he's been shoved down our throats.
It's gonna take a little bit. I think it's gonna take around.
It's not gonna be immediately, but I think you're right. By the time 2 or 3 major pay-per-views are done, it's gonna be like he's a 3-hit wonder at the moment, and we've got another Cena on our hands. Is what
And
the
it
crowd will do.
and his monotone promos can't sell a feud.
Unless they have Rollins or Ambrose cash in, and I'm throwing Ambrose's name in because, like I've said, I don't see Rollins cashing in.
Rollins is cashing in.
If they have anybody cash in, it's gonna be either at No, it's not gonna be at Mania, but it's gonna be either the night after Mania or it's gonna be at Extreme Rules, because that contract only lasts so much. Unless they throw it away. What happens if they threw away the Money in the Bank? What happens if Lesnar came back and like he was beat down by Cena or something and he's having trouble getting up, and they have Rollins come in and cash in and Lesnar just screws him?
For one, they're not gonna have Cena beat down Lesnar to the point where it's a cash-in attempt. Unless you're
Unless they're about ready to bury, unless they're ending the relationship with Lesnar. Period.
the only way to beat down Lesnar is if he gets hit by like a truck in the middle of the ring.
No, he's got. I mean, he would have to actually, seriously injure himself to a point where he could not wrestle again.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what their plan is for that Money in the Bank contract.
It's like I said before. Reigns is gonna win the title. Rollins cashes in on Reigns.
That's my theory as well. It is my, and then Ambrose beats Rollins. That's actually how we get it all the way around. So Ambrose has the. That's where I think Ambrose is has a better chance of being a longer term champion than Reigns does right now.
Yeah, but you know what? That's up to what WWE sees and those three guys in the next year or so. It's gonna be difficult. It's so up in the air. I don't think anybody can predict this now, except Reigns.
Which is actually good in one sense because we don't know we can't call what exactly is going to happen, which is actually what they're probably aiming for, really.
I think the only thing to call right now is Reigns is beating Lesnar. I think that's the one definite that you can call. But what can happen after? Who's going to cash in? If it's going to be a successful cash in?
Well, you know who and you also remember there's that animosity between Cena and Reigns. At that point.
Like I've said, Cena could very well easily tie Ric Flair's record.
He's gonna pass Ric Flair's record.
No.
They've already said John Cena's gonna stay a top guy as long as he can.
Well, right now Cena is at number 15. Ric Flair is 16.
He's going to tie it.
I don't think they're gonna beat it.
They're gonna beat it.
I don't think they're gonna have him beat it.
They're gonna have him beat it.
Like his before retirement storyline will he at least beat it? He's gonna tie it for sure.
He will win the title again by the end of next year.
All right, we'll throw that. Someone write that shit down so I remember it.
Good thing we have this audio recording.
We will never remember this.
Anyways, we gotta move on. We're broke going a little too long now.
Okay.
Well, anyways, John Cena wins via DQ because Rowan and Harper runs in, and which leads to Big Show and Henry to run in as well, which leads to a 6-man tag.
Wow.
Simple fucking match, I would say, which led after, and the winners are the babyfaces.
Woo!
And we go with Cena celebrating as the Wyatt's leaving after Cena hits the AAs on.
Wow.
Woo!
Yeah. Man, this was a bad Raw. This was a bad Raw.
No, there's no way around it.
Yeah, there's really no. There's one good match that came out of this. One good angle that came out of this. And Night of Champions isn't looking good, I would say.
That's what I think about Night of Champions.
What?
That's what I think about Night of Champions.
Just a
makes me yawn.
Nice long yawn.
Yep.
Any predictions for Night of Champions, guys?
It's gonna suck.
It's Somebody's gonna
That'd be
win.
boring.
Somebody's gonna lose.
Brie versus Nikki.
Oh
Yep.
God.
Are they going to use that match to sell people the network?
Oh my God. Please
Brie
no.
versus Nikki, only $9.99 on the WWE
Don't,
network.
don't
That's
No.
a big grand mile.
Brie versus Nikki. You should have died in the womb. That's the tagline.
Well, what's
That
the
was the quote of the night.
Yeah, that's the tagline.
winner must crawl into mother's womb?
Whoa.
Oh, gross.
Brie versus Nikki, your first child must get aborted match.
Oh. Well,
Dude,
that'll
we're
be
bringing
Brie
it back around to Moses.
Well, that'll be Brie because John doesn't want kids or marriage. So
Yep. Boom.
There we go.
you already predicted the match right away.
Yep. Alright, let's go into some quick news and then we'll end it. Possible signs that WWE officials have given up on another character. There were reports earlier that they'd given up on Bo Dallas, which doesn't look too much like it since they're not throwing him in a feud with Swagger.
He should have believed.
But now the next person to be
Wait
dumped
for it.
by WWE Creative
Wait for it.
is Adam Rose.
Yes!
Jesus Christ.
Cheers.
Yes.
What?
The character that did not get over.
Yeah,
Nothing.
What
man.
Water.
But
But what happened to party time?
It's no longer party time. Bunny, we have to go home.
oh yeah, didn't the bunny die? Oh no, they haven't
I'm
killed
not
him
gonna
yet.
make. I'm not gonna make a comment. That would be.
No, go ahead.
No,
Come
no.
on, man.
No,
Go
no.
ahead.
Come on.
Do it.
David,
do it.
you've laid the
do
gauntlet.
it.
Nope.
That's why we're missing a member this week. It's because he had to go home with the Rosebud Express.
Oh.
Aww.
Anyways,
That time.
You said for me to say it.
WWE is WWE. Prince Devitt. There are some signs that WWE may be letting Prince Devitt keep his body paint. After a photo was put up by I believe Kevin Steen of Devitt and Steen standing together with Devitt in paint. Now, I don't take this lightly because while this is a dirt sheet that came out, I'm gonna say that this was probably warm-up matches that they were supposed to fight in their ring gear. Sami Zayn did this when he was first hired, when he had his first couple matches on were they house shows or they were really small like practice shows where he was dressed up as El Generico. So while it's maybe not set in stone that he's going to be wearing the body paint, Triple H retweeted the picture, which was a small turn of events. So maybe Triple H is interested in having Prince Devitt wear body paint. So it'll be interesting what happens with that situation.
As long as he walks to the ring like a zombie.
That was still the best entrance ever.
I want him to come out as Bane again. That was cool as
Stone
shit.
Cold.
What about Freddie? Is Steve Austin in the background? What's going on here?
It's my phone.
Oh
Shut
yeah.
up. Hell yeah.
Hey Deborah.
WWE had a poll.
God damn it, Tucker.
Be Deborah.
Stop.
WWE had a poll up asking what fans wanted to see in the next WWE movie, and Taker's winning with 34%.
Yeah.
He plays the old man in the wheelchair. It's gonna be great.
No, there was actually a rumor back in the day that he was supposed to be in a movie, like an old western type movie.
We're gonna be Tombstone 2.
Yes.
Oh, that would be
Oh,
sick. That would be really
Yes. Hire me, WWE. I fucking got this.
good. That would be really good. NXT is looking to some of their superstars are supposed to be in WWE 2K15. That should be announced somewhere in October, September.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do I need to throw my phone across the room so you can...
No,
Yes,
keep doing it. This
probably.
is great.
Tom Phillips, who was recently removed from the WWE main event show, has now been added to the SmackDown announce team.
God.
Which I think it's awesome. I don't think I watched Was he on last week's show? Because I didn't watch last week's SmackDown.
Yeah, he was.
Awesome. Was he good?
He was pretty much the only sane one, trying to not delve into the arguments.
All right. I'm going to have to take a
It's
listen to
Tom
that.
Phillips. He's not too much of a positive, but he's not a negative.
Well, I mean, he's supposed to be the guy to replace Michael Cole as play-by-play. So as long as he's good via play-by-play, I think Tom Phillips is going to be awesome. I really, really like Tom Phillips. I think he's a great voice. He's young. He doesn't fucking annoy me. And he likes to have fun. So
Bring back Joey Styles.
yes. Oh, Tom Phillips and Joey Styles would be
my god.
an awesome commentating team. Triple H likes... oh, not Joey Styles. Fuck you, Mike. You made me think of someone else. I don't care about Joey Styles. I want Matt Striker. And Triple H likes Matt Striker, but I don't think Vince would want him back. But I think under Triple H's reign, if he's looking for some more color commentators, I think Matt Striker could be on a list somewhere.
Bring back Booker T so you can hear all his ghetto jibe.
God, no. No.
Shucky ducky.
Shucky ducky.
Shucky ducky quack quack.
No.
Sound like Sling Blade. That was terrible.
Sin Cara's in his face high 3 times.
Now wait a minute.
So
Wait a minute.
so
Ducky.
it was reported that by David Shoemaker, the author of The Squared Circle, Life, Death, and Pro Wrestling. He reported that on Twitter that he heard Daniel Bryan is going to need Tommy John surgery and would be allowed.
Jesus fucking Christ!
But what's weird is that while most people, this surgery happens to baseball players, and they're usually out for a year or so. It's being reported that for Bryan's surgery and how serious it is, he's actually being looked at to be out for at least 3 months. Because it's probably not as serious.
Can you explain what this surgery is?
Tommy John surgery is I can't remember. I know it has something.
Tommy John surgery was a surgery named after a pitcher named Tommy John.
Yeah.
It's basically to work on the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's a tendon or something that they have to basically recreate.
Ulnar collateral ligament
Yeah.
reconstruction.
Yeah.
That's why it usually takes pitchers a year to come back.
Yep.
At full strength.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Yep.
that's a different sport. That's a different sport when it comes to professional wrestling, and I don't think it's as serious to Bryan than it is to most baseball players. So, but he's still being evaluated, and that's the last we heard of that. So let's hope that he makes it back before Rumble. I'd like for that. The Rock is going to be featured in a WWE movie.
Ugh.
It's a film adaptation of the 1980s TV series The Fall Guy.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh,
My God.
Hey, I think I've heard of this.
Oh,
Wait.
my
It's
He
what's
is
up?
not Lee Majors.
I kind of have news since we're talking about The Rock.
What?
The Rock is in talks apparently with Warner Brothers to have a casting role in the Shazam movie.
Yeah. Isn't he teasing
He's-
between?
He's Black Adam.
Yeah, I hope he's Black
well,
Adam because he looks exactly like him.
He's teasing either he's gonna be Black Adam or Shazam.
He should be Black Adam because he looks exactly like him.
Yeah.
So
It would be cool.
I hope he doesn't play Shazam. Or fuck it, no. Fuck you, DC. He's called Captain Marvel. Kiss my ass. Bunch of new 52 pieces of shit.
Hi, I'm
calling you out.
Shazam. Wetang. Oh, now
Yeah.
you're dead. Thank you.
Okay, so the Wizard is called Shazam. I'm called Shazam. We got 3 other people that are called Shazam. Fuck!
All right.
Now also changed forms 4 times since you have started
Yeah.
that sentence. Thank you.
There's some little kid somewhere going, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
We're
What
just
the
gonna
fuck?
have to start calling each other S. That way we don't change every time.
How do you think Junior, the other one, Junior feels his catchphrase is Captain Marvel. Can't even call himself his own name.
Yeah. Think about it if he says it while he's flying.
Yeah, it's like,
Boom.
well,
What's your name?
Hey,
I don't remember.
there was that. Okay, this is way off topic, but there was an episode of Batman Brave and the Bold where he's like the wizard Shamaz, and the guy's like, "You mean Shazam?" Because the dude had stole Shazam's or Captain Marvel's powers, and it made him change back. And I was like, that is the stupidest fucking thing, but it is also the greatest thing because it was just so dumb. Continue, Greg.
Here's all you need to know about Brave and the Bold. It is dumb.
Dude, it is the greatest thing ever. You shut your mouth. Fucking Cartoon Network, pieces of shit. Dude, I'm just raging against everybody tonight.
Are you raging against the machine?
Absolutely, dude.
Still wrestling.
On
Stick it
that
to the
note,
man.
I think we can move on to Pop Flop and Botch. I think because there is a news topic, but I have a special segment. I'm gonna introduce a new segment
Oh my god.
at the end of the show.
Yeah, we knew about this.
What gave me a boner this week in wrestling?
As a little surprise. So we're gonna start with our Pop Flop and Botches. Who wants to go? Joker. Want to do your Pop Flop and Botch, sir?
Sure.
Awesome.
Pop goes to the Stardust and Goldust heel turn. I loved it. I loved how unpredictable that was.
Yeah.
There needs to be more of that. There needs to be more
Unpredictability.
shit like that.
Yeah.
LOL.
Definitely agree with you.
Flop goes to Raw being boring. I just wasn't really into it tonight.
Alright.
And Botch goes to the Nikki and Brie segment.
That was surely a terrible, terrible botch. I hope it's a botch in ratings.
I'm going to admit, I did like the abortion line, but
I support abortion.
I think that was everybody's favorite line.
because that was just golden, you know.
It was less of abortion, more of like a pregnancy failure. Because if it was abortion, I think Nikki would have died as well.
Yeah.
Since they were both in the womb at the same time.
yeah, the word term should have been miscarriage, but you know, whatever.
Yeah. Was that your botch? Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Was it? I don't know.
Man, my
Did it
It's questionable.
my short-term memory is like 3 seconds. So.
It's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Where am I?
Jonesy, pop up and botch.
Where are you people?
Because I love putting you on the spot.
Grandpa!
Grandpa!
Jimmy, is that you?
Yes, Sonny?
Go!
What did you say?
Where's the small Asian boy that fluffs my pillows?
Oh my god.
Hung, where are you? My pop there. I can't really think of it.
No rush.
Shut up.
All the time in the world, Jonesy.
Let's make it faster than your fantasy.
Stop
football
interrupting
race.
me! Thank you.
Whoa.
I don't really have a pop this week, so fuck that.
On Coke?
My flop. Shut up. My flop goes to the entirety of Raw because it was god awful, and my botch goes to the Bo Dallas shitty Bodog and the Nikki and Brie segment because my god.
All right. Mike.
My pop goes to the Simpsons marathon that's currently going.
Yeah, I've been watching that all fucking week.
Yup.
So am I.
So fucking good.
It ends next week and I'm gonna cry.
I hate that I have to go to bed at night because I'm just gonna miss out on some of like my favorite fucking episodes. I fucking
Greg-
hate it. Like I've spent
Greg,
like
just stay up and watch it. You'll be fine.
I think I've spent the past couple nights like up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and like the next episode was starting. Like, do I watch it?
Why am I not watching this now? Why am I still on USA Network?
I know. I just thought the same thing. Moving on.
And then we will never watch FXX again.
Oh no,
Yeah.
actually, FXX has some pretty good shows. I recommend FFX.
FFX.
FFXXXX.
My flop.
Fa-fa.
My flop goes to ZCW Heat.
C-Dub. CZ-Dub.
I actually got to watch the full show.
I'm sorry.
God
Exactly.
damn it.
Stone Cold is here. Stone Cold.
Well, let's see. Their main event,
I have a beer for a working man.
there's always controversy with their main event because one of their guys no-showed.
Really?
Yeah. The challenger to the world title no-showed.
So, was there a
Yeah.
reason for him not no showing?
They didn't say. But they
Did
had
you
to
look it up?
No.
Who
They
was it?
didn't pay me.
Some guy named Joker.
Joker. You
Joker?
know, show CCW.
The main event was all over the place, especially the ending.
Who filled in?
Jake Christ
Oh,
of OI4K. It was a good match, but you could tell they were scrambling for time to find somebody because he started throwing in filler matches.
mm.
Hopefully their show next month will be better. Hopefully. And my botch goes to Nikki and Brie because I saw blood coming out of my eyes. And my ears. I felt it. Yes.
I think I saw blood
I
coming.
did that.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think I saw blood coming out of Jerry Lawler's penis because he doesn't know how to come properly.
What the fuck, dude?
What?
Mental imagery.
One of the
My botch goes to Greg for having that image in his head.
My fucking penor hurts now. God damn it, dude.
I love it, Michael.
Oh my god.
Michael.
Alright, I'm done.
Alright, Doug.
Pop goes to PWG. I mean, yeah, that's fun. That's what I was watching for like this last third of Raw.
I fucking hate you.
You fucking homo king.
You fucking piece of shit. We were supposed to watch it for wrestling night.
Bastard.
ACH.
If it was up.
Flop goes to Raw. Just everything. Botch. Yeah, I got nothing. Life. Sounds good.
Alright.
Yeah, that works.
Alright.
Fuck life. Deserves that.
Mr. David West.
Okay. The pop goes to my Wild Star Guild because we had awesome events this week and we're continuing that. So, kudos to them. Flop is the WWE for putting on the Bella segment at exactly 9 o'clock, which is when all of the good awards start being announced over on the Emmy Awards that they were up against. So probably their last hour is going to have a very bad rating because of the crap that they had been putting on before it and during that. So, and the botch goes to Superstar Billy Graham.
Oh boy.
And I don't know if you guys saw this or not.
Oh, I did.
Oh, some of that.
Superstar Billy Graham
R.I.P.
basically went on to a tirade about Abdullah the Butcher and hepatitis C because his doctors have given him only 2 years to live. Graham, that is, and he was blaming. And he
That's
was
it.
blaming,
I'm throwing it across the room.
and Graham was blaming Abdullah the Butcher for this, although Abdullah didn't give him the hepatitis C. It was his own damn fault with the steroids and drinking, etc., that killed his liver. Abdullah gave it to another wrestler by blading, and the guy got infected from it.
Well, granted,
But Graham was blaming his own personal hepatitis C on Abdullah the Butcher, which is like, no, that's a botch, guy. You didn't get it from him. I mean, you can yell at him for giving people that for years, but you can't claim your own. So yeah, he kind of botched the interview. I think he was trying to make it talking about the other guy, but he kept saying I and kind of screwed it all up. So that's my botch.
Okay, well, I mean, it's very well reported that Abdullah the Butcher is a complete jackass because he would blade people without even their permission.
Oh no, he is an absolute, and the rant that's why it's a botch and not a flop, because Graham was trying to blame him for other people getting the hepatitis C,
Yeah.
but he kept saying I and me, and it made it sound like it was him. So if he would have been if he would have gotten the pronouns right, it would have been fine, and he would have been exactly right.
Oh, really quickly, I think this is new. I'm gonna say this is new. Yeah, this is new.
It doesn't look old.
It's still possible that Dean
Is it new?
Ambrose makes an appearance at the WWE Night of Champions pay-per-view on September 21st from Nashville. Ew. Some Indian dude at Wrestling Inc., so take this as thinly as possible, notes that filming for WWE Studios Lockdown with Ambrose is scheduled to run through September 20th. And Ambrose is still being advertised locally for the pay-per-view. So he may get... And since it's a WWE studio, they could have Ambrose come back the Monday night before Night of Champions, just as an open day, and then have him go back to filming. But, so yeah, we could probably still see him. Anyways, on to my Pop, Flop, and Botch. And my segment. My pop goes to... the AJ Lee Paige lesbian angle that they got going on right now. They're teasing it just as I want them to tease it, but they better go full lesbian or else I'm gonna riot.
Oh my god.
Have fun rioting, because it's not gonna
Live
go
sex
full,
celebration. Live sex
Next.
celebration match.
it's not gonna go full lesbian, so
They could put it on.
rioting.
They could put it on the WWE Network.
They're not gonna put it on the
It's on.
network.
It's uncensored on there.
Greg, they
Put it on
cen-
YouTube.
Greg, they censor cussing on the network.
No, they didn't.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, you do.
Not on the ECW shows.
On the current stuff, yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah, on the current stuff, not on the ECW shows.
Well, okay. What makes you think they're not gonna censor the AJ Page lesbian thing?
My flop
You
is.
Not even answering it. All right, solid deal.
My flop goes to.
The Oakland Raiders.
Nah.
His ability to draft a football team.
Yes, his drafted football team.
Yeah, my drafted football team, I picked Russell Wilson as my QB because I had like 30 seconds left on the fucking clock, and people were telling me to pick, and the only QB I saw on the top of the list was Russell Wilson, so I picked him. So,
I was really hoping you were gonna get that Brown that's potentially out for the fucking season, Josh Gordon.
oh,
I was
God,
really
no.
hoping you were gonna pick him. I was like, yes.
But I'm hopefully gonna get what's his fucking name?
Nick Foles.
Yeah,
Uh,
is that a better pick than Wilson?
he may not be available, Greg.
What? Because John picked him, right? You're laughing, but no one's explaining me.
He's basically saying
Just continue, Greg. Just
No,
continue.
no.
Live in happiness. Live in happiness.
he's basically saying, as of this moment, Nick Foles is no longer on the block.
Yeah, because
Somebody
John
say-
picked him.
No.
Oh,
Then the waiver wire happened, and then you
Yeah.
were slow.
yeah.
Wesley, did you get Foles? Wesley, did you get Foles?
I take it that's a yes.
So now I
You've
have.
been conspired against, my friend.
Wesley, we're gonna have to talk after this show really quickly.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah.
My botch goes to.
I hate to tell you this. I told Ray not to, just so you wouldn't get pissed, Greg.
Thank you, Dave. Wesley, we're gonna have to talk after this show really quickly.
Hey man, you were too slow.
We're
You gotta
gonna have to
pick
talk
Yeah, it's his.
after this. I was trying to figure out how to. No, we're gonna talk after this.
up-
My
You said everybody was free game.
We're gonna talk after this. My botch goes to.
We hear a gun being loaded in the background.
My botch. I don't know. I don't have a botch this week. I want to get to my segment. Greg's salty fuck you of the week. That's right. That's the news.
That's the same thing as a botch, you moron.
That's the new segment that I'm gonna be talking about. I am very salty about a certain
Greg's
subject
been
this
very
week.
salty.
Dude,
I've
Greg has
been-
been just spitting out this salt left and right.
Yeah, and so I decided I'm gonna implement this on the show so I could rant really quickly.
Is it about Oakland Raiders management?
Last week, my salty fuck you of the week went to Jim Ross for deciding to throw rumors around saying that AJ Lee was gonna leave after fucking SummerSlam
Because she's pregnant.
because she's pregnant. Whatever. Sure.
Oh, good times.
Now, my salty fuck you of the week goes to 3 people.
That'd be the 3 that are laughing.
It was 2 a minute ago.
It was too.
And these three people are
Three poo.
these 3 people are Stone Cold Steve Austin, John
Jesus
Cena,
Christ.
and CM Punk. Now you're maybe asking, oh, well, Greg, what do those 3 people
Did they
have
all
in
knock-
common?
Did they all
Whoa.
knock up AJ?
Let me tell
They all
you.
think there's nothing, AJ?
PW Torch had an interview with Stone Cold Steve Austin, in which Stone Cold Steve Austin decided that he was going to hint that he was possibly gonna have a match at WrestleMania.
He's gonna kick AJ in the uterus.
Well, there goes my one fuck you. Austin, you said probably so many times that you were possibly never gonna fucking wrestle again.
In
No,
in all fairness, he only said that it'd be cool if he did in Dallas.
He said
didn't
that
say
like
he'd do it.
once. He said that once out of the hundreds of times that he says, you know, you probably shouldn't expect me back in the WWE.
No, 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 no.
Because every
He's-
year,
he
every
said
year,
he said if the money and the angle was right, he'd come back. He never said he'd never
fuck
wrestle again.
you, Austin. My second fuck you is, well, my second and third fuck you go to Cena and Punk. Well, why is this? Well, because Austin has said that if he was to return for a match,
Okay.
so Austin said that if he, so
His
Austin,
saltiness is just blocking his mic right now.
Apparently.
so Austin,
There's like a landfill in there.
so Austin said that if he was gonna return for a match, you know, an obvious choice would be CM Punk. Well, CM Punk's not there anymore. CM Punk lost the motivation to wrestle. So who else can Austin fight? Well, the other person that he's thrown in there is the
Daniel.
person who's wanted to wrestle Austin this fucking entire time.
Jinder
John
Mahal.
fucking Cena. So that's where my 3 salty fuck yous come from. Austin, Cena, and Punk, because you screwed up all my fucking dreams of what I could possibly see out of a Steve Austin and CM Punk match.
You screwed
Fuck
WrestleMania
you.
33.
You assholes. Thank you, everybody, for joining the Art
Whoa,
of Wrestling.
whoa,
Yeah.
I
Wow, that's
We're not in on that.
I got
So
skipped.
we're an internet podcast, and Greg is hating on everyone the internet likes.
Can I do my pop flop and botch now, or
You did your pop flop.
no? I
bunch.
didn't. I got skipped.
Well, you get properly skipped for taking Nick Foles.
I left you, Alex Smith.
I don't. You give me Nick Foles.
He did leave you Alex Smith.
I don't
Yeah.
care if Alex. I want Nick Foles.
Wow, he is literally like 3
The
points.
salt is coming back.
You're not gonna cry, are you?
Nick Foles.
Oh
No. Fuck you. I want Nick Foles. I still have my waiver request sent, and I fucking want him.
No, he's already on my team, Greg.
Too
so
late.
it's too late.
Waiver requests are done.
Wesley,
Yeah.
give me Nick Foles. Thank everybody
Okay,
for
I'm
joining the Arc of Wrestling podcast.
So
Wesley, no, Wesley, where are you going? Come back, Wesley. Stop.
Nah, you've been properly skipped.
Oh, okay.
Wesley, do your pop flop and botch. Go ahead.
Awesome. My first pop goes to Watch Dogs because I 100%ed it.
Terrible
Final.
game.
I enjoyed it. so-
Terrible game.
My second pop. What was my second pop? Oh yeah. My second pop is that I finally got Damaris Thomas on my fantasy team. I'm really excited about him because I like him. Oh, and I got Alshon Jeffrey.
You know who she got? You know who she got?
I got Nick Foles too.
Nick
Isn't that
Foles.
Wesley, I want Nick Foles.
well, Greg, we'll talk after the podcast.
Yeah, we will talk after the podcast.
Pop. My flop goes to the Oakland Raiders because they suck. My botch goes to Greg because he wasn't fast enough and wasn't listening to Big Fish when he was talking. So there you go.
It's kind of Greg's fault.
Thank you, everybody,
that
for...
is
No,
Greg's fault.
it wasn't my fault, because when I was asking... When I was... I had no idea how to add people. I was having...
Big Fish said the waiver thing was gone. You could add and drop.
Yeah, he said that, but I didn't know how to add or drop. That's why I was asking.
You.
Yeah, and when you told
Oh,
me...
whose fault is that?
And when you were explaining to me how to add and drop, and I did it, it was already gone, because Wesley took them. God damn it. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Arc of Wrestling podcast. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. You know to catch us next week. Follow us on the YouTube channel where you're currently listening to the podcast. Follow us on Twitter. That's twitter.com/arcofwrestling. And I hope to see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.